Good morning students, welcome back. In our previous lecture, we introduced Green's theorem and we verified Green's theorem with the help of some examples. Now in this lecture, we are going to learn about Stokes' theorem, which is the generalization of our Green's theorem. Let's start. So before going to give the statement of Stokes' theorem, I want to introduce surface integrals in the vector field, how we are going to integrate, what will be the orientation, that we will learn in these two slides. A surface S is orientable if there exists a continuous unit normal vector function n defined at each and every point on the surface. So what is the meaning of this? So I have surfaces here. There are some points on the surface. At each and every point, if I am able to find it out that unit normal vector function at each and every point on the surface, then that will be the orientable. So here in the surface, because it's you have both sides, you may have upward orientation as well as downward orientation. So in this picture also I shown surface with n and minus n, that gives that minus n, which tells us it is going downward orientation. So see in the second and third picture, so you can clearly understood. So one is upward direction and other one is downward direction, right? So that indirectly we will call it as these are orientable in both the sides, right? And you know very well how you are finding this unit normal vector n cap. So I am not given n cap because I already defined n as some bold letter, with some bold letter, so I represented, that's why n cap is not required. So anyway it is a unit vector, n cap is equal to del f by mod del f. You know very well this formula, which is grade f, right? Now, so I am taking some vector field, velocity field here. F is equal to mi plus nj plus pk. Let you assume this is the velocity field of a fluid. Then the total volume of the fluid passing through the surface S for unit time is called the flux. You know very well. So flux of F through S. So how to find it out, this flux? So let you understood this with the help of this diagram. I have force field here. So this is the direction for the force field. In this direction I was given all these vectors towards force field, and then I just chosen some region on the surface, smallest maybe rectangular area delta S I chosen, so that I am just zooming this out. You can see here, this is your delta S. Okay, so I want to find it out what will be the flux flow in that particular area delta S. So to get that, I have to computate at that particular delta S how much flow going outside. So computation of F n means here the force field vector in the direction of n. Okay, so means just I am projecting the force field on unit normal vector n cap, that is indirectly the dot product F bar dot n cap. Okay, so that many times when F bar dot n cap, which is nothing but this length, and of course this is projecting on that, okay, into delta S. So that area, it's something like length into height. Okay, just you are multiplying. So F bar dot n delta S, which gives in this particular region how much fluid is going outside, okay, for unit time at an instant of time. So if you want to see the total fluid, that flux flow on this particular surface, okay, so then of course it is on the surface, I have to apply double integration. In what direction? This ds means it may be dx dy on xy plane or yz plane or zx plane. Sometimes it may have with a certain angle of xy or yz or zx also. Okay. So now the ds will take it later. Ds how it is varying. It may be vary any one of the direction. So we can define ds as dx dy into y, dy dz into y plus dx dz into j plus dz dx dy into k. So like that also you can define. Okay, we will see those formulas in our coming slides. So anyway, here if you want to know the flex in this particular area, we need to integrate that surface. So surface integral formula will be double integral of surface f dot n cap. Your force field, any field vector f bar dot n cap with respect to the normal vector when you are projecting, then that at that point what will be the flex, we can easily find it out. Okay, this is the physical representation. It will help us not only in our Stokes theorem, this particular surface integral will help us while finding your Gauss divergence theorem also. Now we'll see the Stokes theorem, the statement of the Stokes theorem. So as usual, I just consider the circulation of a vector field f bar, that is mi plus nj plus pk, around the boundary C of an oriented surface S in the direction counterclockwise with respect to the surface unit normal vector n equals to del cross f bar dot n over S. So let you understood this whole thing in what way we return. See, this is some 3D object. It may be like here I took some hemisphere. Okay. Then what here we are trying to tell you, the circulation of the vector field. So anyway, the whole this region we are taken in the vector field f bar. Okay, which is in 3D, and just I want to see that around the boundary of C, see on the base, okay, we have some circular form which is C, right? That is curve name is some C. So means I'm going to find it out. If I need the maybe work done or something along the curve C, what formula you are using? Integral C f bar dot dr. The circle, as you know, it is representing, it is a closed one. Here also we can use it because this whole thing will be your closed one only. For both the things you can close it. Now, so I can find in this way in counterclockwise direction, that already you know, this is the formula integral C f bar dot dr, which is base now here, that base which is representing some circle here in the diagram. Okay, so we are taking in that way. Now this is exactly equivalent to your surface integral. Just now we learned how to find the surface integral f bar dot n cap ds. Okay, so f bar is your vector field. Now here directly we are not directly taking f bar dot n. The reason is there we are finding the total on the surface how much flux is going outside. But here we have to find it out the border, okay, boundary of this 3D object. So to get this I have to use the curl F. So you know the meaning of curl F, which is nothing but del cross F bar. F bar is providing to you. So del cross F bar is curling on the surface at each and every point. Okay, so it may be parallel to xy axis, it may be xy on xy plane or yz plane or zx plane, or sometimes See here, when I took some point here and when I am curling, see it is in some other direction. It is not projected on xy plane or yz or zx. So at each and everywhere there may be some unit normal vector. First we have to curl at that point and then you multiply with unit normal vector. So what is happening? It is simply a generalization of your it is simply a generalization of your Green's theorem. So let us see how it is extension to the Green's theorem. See, in our Green's theorem, have you remembered how we learned? So I just taken on two-dimensional, okay, f bar is equal to some mi plus nj, f bar is equal to mi plus nj, okay, right? So and change in r, that is a dr we are taken, dr is equal to idx plus jdy, isn't it? Right. So from that we will get integral c f bar dot dr for integral circle sum c f bar dot dr. We got mdx plus ndy. Do you remember the Green's theorem statement? Integral c mdx plus ndy is equal to double integral of, because this region, in this region, double integral of what you got there? Dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y dx dy. Why it is like that? Always if you are taking on xy plane, so the curl is its orientation towards normal direction, because it's a plane on it is an xy plane, so its orientation towards kth direction, unit vector for the z direction. So that's why when I multiplied only this, even when I find it out, this del cross f bar for m and n, p is not here, so that will become 0. Have you remembered how you got that result? Okay, so that formula will be for two-dimensional, isn't it? Because of that, k dot k will be equals to 1 and we are able to get it double integral of some region r dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y dx dy. There we are taken, which is on xy plane, so the curl is, orientation of curl is towards z direction. So always it is towards z direction. Simply you multiply with k bar, k cap, okay, unit vector, so that k cap dot k cap, that will be 1. That will be very easy, that formula. Now, if you consider in the Stokes theorem, it is completely which is generalization of your Green's theorem. The reason is, only the problem is here, it is not 2D, it is not 2D, it is in 3D. So let me assume that it is some hill area, okay. So there may be up and downs and there may be direction. Suppose if I take it here one point, it is, I can't say it is parallel to xy plane or yz plane, this whole 3D object, isn't it? So in that particular direction I should find this unit normal vector, okay. Means I am curling, curling of some point is not always z direction, it may be in some different direction because of 3D object here, okay, right. So anyway, in both the cases, what we are finding the length of this boundary, isn't it? Integral c f bar dot dr. The left hand side will not change anything. For both Green's theorem and Stokes theorem, left hand side as usual we will find it out. When it comes to the right hand side, there in Green's theorem we are applying for two-dimensional. Here in Stokes theorem we are applying for three-dimensional. That is only the difference. Okay. So that's why I am just given here del cross f bar, isn't it? So f bar, now I took it three components here. Previously, in your Green's theorem, I have only mi plus nj. Means it is a flat surface. Sorry, it is a plane, isn't it? That's why simply I wrote there curl f dot n cap into dx dy. Otherwise, that curl f, two-dimensional curl f, we can also shown as dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y. You know that, okay? So here this formula is very important for three-dimensional. We have to find del cross f bar, and you know the formula for del cross f bar, that we can easily apply and we will get it. So let's go to the problems. So we need to verify. So means both left hand side and right hand side both should be the same. So I have this vector, some field vector, okay, vector field will be here, and it is bounded with the rectangles. So here you may have doubt. So rectangle, it is a 2D. So why should I apply Stokes theorem? Of course, you are correct. You need not to apply Stokes theorem. You can handle the same problem with the Green's theorem also. But see, sometimes just for sake of giving some problems, they want to make you sometime easy. So they may, by giving just 2D only, they may ask you to verify Stokes theorem. Of course, when it is in 2D, always it is perpendicular to some other direction. So that we can consider here. So anyway, Stokes theorem formula will be like this. Integral C f bar dot dr is equal to double integral of del cross f bar dot n ds. Okay. So now here from this we are finding, R is your position vector, xi plus yj plus zk. From that I can get it dr, that is idx plus jdy plus kdz. But here third component is not there. So simply we will find it out for two components. Anyway, you just find integral f bar dot dr here. So along the line you have to go and you have to find it out. As I said, this is common for both Green's theorem as well as Stokes theorem, right? Same thing. And I am representing these points as OA, BC. So along OA, I have to find f bar dot dr, again AB, BC and CO. All these four lines, if I evaluated all those four integrals, then I will get the length of this curve along these four lines. So one by one, I am just taking each one as one integral I1, I2, I3, I4, but that much is not required. So anyway, along OA, so means along OA, y is equal to 0, x is varying 0 to a. X is varying 0 to a. Same thing I am showing. Along OA, y is equal to 0 means change in y, that is dy is 0. So but x is varying 0 to a. So that your this is your integral f bar dot dr. So here in this place, wherever y is there, I have to substitute 0. dy means that is also 0. So the remaining will be as it is. X is varying, so x is varying from 0 to a. So I will take x is equal to 0 to a. Remaining in place of y, if we substitute 0, dy substitute 0, then we will get this. So integral x square dx, so after substituting your limits, this is a cube by 3. So if I consider this line, okay, if I consider this line, what is changing here? What is changing? So x is constant, right? And y is changing 0 to b, right? So what is the value of x? X is equal to a, right? So when x is equal to a, dx value 0, y is varying 0 to b. So wherever x is there, you substitute a, and wherever dx is substitute b here in this vector field, right? So we will get this integral and integrate with respect to and substitute the value. Similarly, you find the remaining two lines also. These problems already we done in our previous class also. Please go ahead. After finding all the small integrals, total integral of f bar dot dr means all these four integrals I have to add it up. So once I add it up, I got some result, that is minus 2a b square. So this is your LHS. So when it comes to the RHS, I have to find del cross f bar first. Ijk, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z. These are partial derivatives. And in your vector field, so we have two components, x square plus y square, and one more component is minus 2xy. Okay. So I just took these two components. Z component is not there, that will make it as 0. So if we find this value, we got minus 4yk. Okay. Now, so minus 4yk. Now here it is very clear actually. We need not to take this formula. See, this is given problem is on xy plane. So z direction, I can take some unit normal vector k for z direction. Okay, if it is on xy plane, for z direction, let me take z direction in this direction, I can take unit normal vector some k cap. Okay, so when I multiplied this with, what is our formula, del cross f bar dot n cap. Your unit normal vector n cap is here, which is equal to your k. So then your del cross f bar is minus 4yk dot k. Okay, so that k dot k value will be 1. So we will get minus 4y into dx dy. Right? Suppose if you want to take it as always as a formula, I can ask you to remember this. N cap ds is nothing but ds is change in the change on the surface towards this unit normal vector. So that that we can also represent as ds bar. Okay, ds bar. So how it is changing on the surface? Sometimes it may be parallel to xy plane or yz or zx. Sometimes there may be change. Suppose if I am taking an ith component, so change in y and z will be there, and jth component z and x will be there, and kth component x and y will be there. Okay, so you can consider n bar dot ds as a ds bar, that we can represent, can take this as a formula. Otherwise it is actually very easy. Instead of going in that way, what I am telling, simply because our given problem is on xy plane, so towards z plane I am taking some unit vector n cap is equal to some k. So k dot k is equal to 1. Directly I will get it. Okay, that is also possible. Anyway, you can write it up. Right. So now one more. So once we got your del cross f bar dot n cap, and I have to integrate on the surface. So to integrate on the surface, I should know the limits where to where it is changing. So if you see here, our surface is x is changing 0 to a, y is changing 0 to b. Both are constant limits. So x is changing 0 to a, y is changing 0 to b, y minus 4 which is constant outside. So y dy dx, if you integrate, we are getting minus 2ab square. So both your LHS and RHS both are equal. That's why we can say that our theorem is verified. Let's see other problem here. We have to verify Stokes theorem, and of course we have some vector field yi plus zj plus xk, where s is the upper half of the sphere. So we provided sphere, you can see in the diagram, and C is the boundary. See here at bottom we just notated with some black line. Okay, that is some C which is at bottom. It will be looks like a circle. If z is equal to 0 at bottom, so that we can take it as a circle. Now anyway, you have to find it out length of the circle. You may be think that okay, length of the circle for x square y square, already we know that, isn't it? What is that? Radius. So we can find the perimeter, something like that, but it is in the vector field. Keep in mind that. So this object is, we are finding that region in the vector field. We should not do directly in that way, right? So anyway, and I want to find it out, maybe along this boundary some force field vector will be there, how much work done will be happen, like that physically you can interpret, right? So in xy plane, whose center is origin and radius is equal to unity, right? So if z is equal to 0, then I will get the circle. That is what I am telling. So when you have x square plus y square is equal to 1, we have parametric equations. Okay, that will be easy because everything we can change in terms of some parameters, theta or maybe t. So you know very well, because to do this integration is difficult if you are not changing this into parametric equations, because you don't have other hint here. So I can represent x is equal to cos theta, y is equal to sin theta, and of course theta is changing 0 to 2 pi to evaluate this along this curve, which is circle, okay, here in this case. So of course our force field vector is yi plus zj plus xk multiplied with a dr. So then I will get y dx plus z dy plus x dz, and as you know z is 0, then dz is also 0. Okay, so if you substitute both here, these two terms will become 0. So y dx, y means your sin theta, dx, so x is equal to cos theta, dx is equal to minus sin theta d theta. Okay, so we'll simply substitute these two values, and theta is changing 0 to pi by 2. So that if you just integrate this, sin square theta means 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So just to integrate and apply the limits, we got minus pi here. Right, so we have your LHS minus pi. What exactly we need to find it out? We have to find it out by curling of the surface, whole surface of the sphere. I should get it the same result, isn't it? So we have to find del cross F bar, isn't it? So if I take it del cross F bar, and what I got here, so minus I minus j minus k, isn't it? So as I said, I can take this n bar ds as a ds bar, nothing but on the ith come, because if you see this diagram, it is not only the surface is, see, everywhere points will be there. I need to find it out unit normal vector in that direction. These are not always towards the z direction, isn't it? These may having some other direction also, those unit normal vectors. Therefore, it's better to take your ds changes on ith component. If you take it, let you assume always y and z will be changed towards jth component, and z and x will be there. It is very clear, right? Towards kth component, x and y will be there. These are, maybe chances are perpendicular to this. That's why we have to take in this way. This is some unit vector, normal vector ds. Okay, so then when I multiplied here, okay, all together, and of course we are considering here it is on projected on xy plane. That's why we consider z is equal to 0. If z is equal to 0, these two terms are become 0 directly. Therefore dx dy, when k dot k, that will be minus dx dy, isn't it? And you know integral of dx dy, which is representing the area of the circle, right, with radius r is equal to 1. So you just go back and you please understood how the double integral of dx dy is equal to area of the circle here. Okay, represent the area of the circle, x square plus y square is equal to 1, which is equals to pi. So when since r is equal to 1 here. So anyway, we got here minus pi, isn't it? The reason is here minus is there, so that we'll get minus pi only. So we can conclude that theorem is verified. Both LHS and RHS both are same. So here in this problem we have to evaluate only integral c xy dx plus xy square by Stokes theorem. So instead of going along these lines, okay, I can simply integrate this because it is on xy plane, always kth direction, if you take it, that is enough, isn't it? So while curling with the help of your Stokes theorem, by applying double integration on the surface, it will be very easy to integrate it. So this is the formula you know very well. Instead of finding this, what now I am going to find it out? I am going to find it out RHS side. So RHS side is the curl of del cross f bar. So here they are given only two components. Okay. So therefore those two components you write down, z is 0, and while expanding we got this result while expanding the determinant. So then this we have to multiply with k cap only, because change in the, it is very clear, there is no change. See here, it is on xy plane, z is equal to 0. When z is 0, these two terms will be 0. So dx dy k dot k is equal to 1. Therefore we will get it double integral of y square minus x dx dy, right? So now we got curl f bar dot ds. So this, for this particular function we have to integrate. We have to integrate the whole region. So we need to get the limits for this surface. Here surface is nothing but your plane only. So this plane where it is changing on xy plane, x is changing minus 1 to 1 and y is also changing minus 1 to 1. So we will take this, these are the constant limits. X is changing minus 1 to 1, y is changing minus 1 to 1. If you integrate this for this function curl f dot ds bar, nothing but here dx dy, then we will get the result. Okay, so just we are evaluating on one side because we need to evaluate this problem. It's not verification. If they ask you to verify this problem, then you should find it out, this integral c f bar dot dr also. Okay, so now this is the problem already we done. Okay, upper half surface, just I change the function here. Okay, I change the function, it is, okay, this problem I just change the function there, remaining all are same. So please go through this problem, and if you have any doubts you can ask me. Right, so as usual now we have to verify. Actually this Stokes theorem is for 3D objects. Till then we, directly or indirectly we took only 2D objects. Okay, 3D objects, here if you see it is forming some box. Of course we already consider half of the sphere. Here this is some box which is prepared with these lines, x is equal to 0, x is equal to a. This is cuboid, you can see in the diagram we prepared like that. I just given some names at bottom lines. So a to b I just given as some c1, b to c some c2, c2 some o which is your origin, c2o I am given some name c3, and o to a I am given some other name c4. These are the equation lines c1, c2, c3, c4. What I am taking, we need to find along the curves. So means this bottom along this curve I am trying to find it out. So anyway, this you know, if I take AB along C1, so here, so what is your x value? X is equal to A. Okay. In the diagram this is let me take, this is C1. Okay, so x is equal to a. So along this x equal to a, dx will be 0. Of course c2 y is changing. For c2 y is changing, b is equal to 0, then dy equal to 0. So this will help you while finding your line integrals. So you know already how to go for along the line, and you can find it out. As usual, like your previous examples, you please go ahead and find it out, these values. Okay. Now the on the other side, what we need to find it out? Right hand side. So this is your function, right? We need to find curl f bar dot n cap. Curl f bar is, we got, dot n cap means here directly I am multiplying with k cap, because it is normal unit normal vector is here k cap. So directly you can multiply, and that if you are finding, see, I was given one more formula, because sometimes you may have doubt this dx dy always, which is n modulus of n dot k cap. So that means here n is nothing but some unit vector, which is here k dot k, again it will becomes 1. So it will help us sometimes if you are taken in this way. Okay, right. Just to find it out, just to multiply k dot k, directly we will get the result. Even we are not using this mod of n dot k also, we will get the result. But you try to understood how things are happening here, right? So now this will be equivalent to 2ab square. So if along the curve, if you go ahead, we will get the same result. So both are same meaning. Okay. So you can verify, please verify on your own by doing all these problems. So without doing, don't think that you know everything. So this is also similar to your fifth problem. Please do it, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. So you have some homework problems. Go ahead, and if you have any doubts and you post it, I will clear all your doubts. Thank you.